I'm here today to do another Top 5 Wednesday. And this week's theme was kind of fun. It was what top 5 characters do you want to adopt their fitness routines? So that was a really funny tag, and I had to really think about it. I did mostly girls. There are like two boys that are just like fun ones. But these are characters like I wish I had their fitness routine, their balance, they are not klutzy, and they know how to act in battle. I think that like those are really, really fun skills to have in life. But the first one I want to mention is probably one of my all-star favorite heroines in like the entire books I've ever read, and that's Elizabeth Izzy Lightwood from the Mortal Instruments series. Obviously, she has angel blood in her, but she really is fascinating. I love her battle reflexes. I love all the things she does with weapons. I love her whip. That would be a weapon I would like to have because it's not like it's just something that just she uses her body really just as a weapon, and I really love that and admire that in her. She also is like very, very battle focused and is really good at like conducting, planning out plans. And I think that it's just she just is really like just a superb battle figure, and she is in sick shape going off of the TV show, but also in the book I imagined her in very, very nice shape. And I just would love that fitness routine or that dedication that she has. All these characters are very, very dedicated, and I think I want that dedication in my life because I think I lack it sometimes. But she is just one fierce competitor or fierce like character, and I just want to like adopt her soul into me every once in a while because she is pretty awesome, and I just really, really like her. I'm currently about to start Heavenly Fire, and I'm loving the TV show, so she's just on my mind a lot recently. The next character I want to talk about is Rose from the Vampire Academy and the Bloodline series by Rochelle Mead. She's trained to be a bodyguard and to protect her best friend, which I think is an admirable profession, but she also just really can handle herself in a fight. And I think she also really has to do a lot of quick thinking because she's protecting the possible princess or the possible, like, a royal family member. And I just think she really knows what she's doing. And she also has a lot of, like, tactical planning from her bodyguard classes, but she's also, like, a very, like, she uses her emotions to her advantage, and I think that she's just in really good shape, and she has a lot of fighting skills. Like, I am a klutz. I will fall walking down a street if I'm given the opportunity because I literally have no coordination, and I really, really wish I had those things. But whenever I read about fight sequences with all these leading heroines, I'm like, I wish I could do that. So Rose is definitely one of those characters that I admire a lot because she's able to, like, not fall when she's walking down the street, but also fight like a badass and really like take charge and take names. And I think that that's something that I really wish I could do in my own life. But also, she sets a really good role model for girls, and I think sometimes girls don't have a lot of role models. But we're getting more, and I think she's just a great character to not only root for, but also to see her progression throughout the series because she does change, especially towards the end of the series. And I just really love that, and I like seeing her growth. But she's definitely one of the characters I wish I could adopt her fitness routine because she's pretty kick-ass. The next character I want to talk about is Selena from the Thorn of Glass series. I have not actually finished this series. I still have to read book two and book Queen of Shadows and Empire Storms. I really hope my goal is to read these in like October and November so I could kind of be caught up. But it's hard because they're really, really big. But I just love her. This is one of the characters that I really think her fitness routine is really interesting because you see her in the novellas and the Assassin Blade really like get her abilities to be a really expertise assassin. And then you see the degradation of that in Thorn of Glass, and then she has to build herself back up. And I think that those are two really interesting journeys, and I'll be really excited to see what happens in future books because I don't know. But I just like the two parallel, like the parallel building her up in the novellas and then the parallel of building her up again after she was in the salt mines for all of these years because it did take a lot out of her, and I think she really was like in excruciating pain trying to do this stuff again. I thought that was so fascinating, and again just showed like how much work it takes to be that fit and how much work it takes. Sometimes you don't like really see that in books, and I thought that Thorn of Glass did that really, really effectively because it showed the how she got there on both sides of the story, and I really like appreciated that because it does take a lot of work, and I feel like The Runner of Glass is one of probably the only book series that you see the work that Selena has to put in. Another one also, which is not on my list, but I'm going to mention here, is probably Arya Stark from Game of Thrones, because she also had a very similar experience. She really had to train herself to be a fighter. So that's like a bonus one, Arya Stark from Game of Thrones. Especially the TV show, but I know in the book too, it's a very, very similar concept. But I also really, really liked Arya, so. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Selena and I guess Arya too. And then the next character I'm going to talk about is a male character, and that is Percy Jackson from the Heroes of Olympus series. And this is simply because he is like, you see him from day one of his hero's journey, and you see him to like Heroes of Olympus, where he's just this kick-ass fighter. And I just think that seeing that progression and seeing him go from like point A to point B has been such a fun read and fun watch. I mean, fun read. Sorry, I was reading them. But I really like enjoyed that progression, and I think you don't often see a male character like learn how to be a fighter. And I think that he not only had to learn to be a fighter, but he had to learn how to control his Poseidon abilities, which I thought was really interesting, and I love that. And I think that as the books go on, he really like increased his ability to fight and use his tactics and all that fun stuff. So I really like enjoyed watching that. But he also by the end of like the Heroes was just in really, really nice shape, and he's a pretty cool character to observe from a distance. So yeah, those are my thoughts about why I love Percy Jackson and why I would love to adopt his fitness routine, and also why he is just a fun character, and I really liked his hero's journey that we got to witness throughout the novel. The last character I'm going to talk about is definitely more of a, you know, eye candy that I like to observe, and that is Ryan from Dare You To by Katie. Like a crazy hot baseball player, and you really see that throughout the book that he is trying to fight up against his type, but he is just in really good shape. He has really, really good reflexes. But he also like you learn so much more about Ryan. You learn like about his like how much he likes school, but he also just has a really crazy good body. And I think that it's funny that Beth really does not care about that. His body is not why Beth is with this guy. It's like it's about so much more. But he is nice eye candy. I will admit, all the guys in that series pretty much are, especially him and Logan and Chris. Like they are just in my head. They are really, really in really, really sick shape. So yeah, those are my top 5 fitness routines I wish I could adopt. These characters are all dedicated, and I wish I was that dedicated. But yeah, let me know in the comments what are some of your favorite fitness routines, or whose characters' fitness routines you wish you could adopt. I think that would be fun. But I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!